Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am your host, Rich Owens. Joining me this week, it's a two-man show. I'm joined by the delightfully handsome, eloquent, wonderful, smells very nice in real life, to the surprise of nobody, D-Boy Plays. D, how are you, brother? How are you today?
Hello, Rich. I'm doing very well, thank you, buddy. I'm doing good. I've had a pre-pod, did a fun little stream on Mid-Journeyman, and it's gone very, very well. I've had a lot of fun managing in South America and Chile. I'm sure we'll have a brief discussion about that at some point.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, no, I'm doing very well. How are you today, buddy?
Doing very well. Very well as well. Very well as well. Yeah, all good. I've done the same. I've done a little bit of streaming, a little bit of beautiful South this morning. Had a lovely old time. Enjoying life with Feyenoord, have to say.
Oh, yes.
And just enjoying playing the game and chatting to people on the internet. And having
I do have to ask, how is Big Shaq getting on for you?
Big Shaq, he's doing all right, you know. He's doing
Yeah.
all right. Now I've convinced him to take his coat off. His agility has just gone up by 3. But it's incredible. I've never seen attributes like rise that quickly.
Wow.
I know. Man's
He
not
said
hot.
He wasn't hot.
He liar.
Like, you are. I can tell. We've got heat maps. We can see.
That's what they're used for. That's what they're used for. Loves a big jacket. No, Big Shaq's good. The whole gang are well, I have to say. Everybody's doing splendidly. Everyone's doing reet nice. One thing I am noticing, D, and I don't know if this is the same for you, when you're streaming Football Manager 26 and talking to your chat and the wider community about the game, I don't know about you, I'm being asked a lot of questions about the game. People are after my, and I'm assuming your opinion as well, on FM26 and the wider world.
The questions have come up. I will say that today's stream, there was a large portion of today's stream where it went from sort of general FM chat, very quick tangent before we get into the deeper things. But it went into just sort of everything as a set of 3, like which one would you get rid of? And they ranged from things like biscuits, chocolate and ice cream to, offside, very, very like 3 different football rules to get rid of. And then it got even more surreal. It started making my head turn inside out. So that was fun. But I have been quizzed a few times on FM26 and thoughts and opinions and stuff. And I imagine, it's the same across the board for everyone that's sort of broadcasting themselves, you know.
Absolutely. People want to know what we think. To the point where this week we asked the question publicly on the internet. We did some Twitter. We did an amount of Twitter. And we said, look, give us your questions, because what we haven't done for quite a while is a good old-fashioned Q&A from the listeners and from the wider FM community. And gosh darn it, D, that's what we're going to do this evening. And if you don't like it, please tell me now and we'll think of something else.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. I'm very happy to do that.
Okay, good, because I didn't have anything else planned. If you
didn't
want to do
either.
this, it was going to be a very short podcast.
Yeah, that probably would have been. I mean, I maybe would have tried quickly coming up with a game that only you could play in, where it was like, average season rating for my Santiago morning team, higher or lower, Price is Right in, sort of ad-lib that, but that would be very quick. And
Wouldn't take that long.
No.
So let's do this instead, shall we? Let's do this instead.
Please.
As always, God bless them, the audience, the listeners, they've come in clutch. They have come in clutch because you're all good people, and thank you very much. If you've sent questions in, appreciate you, because you've essentially planned this week's episode for me. So, I've got a little list in front of me, D, and I'm gonna ping them off. We were saying just before we started recording, I have read the questions. We have pre-screened, not because we were expecting anything particularly unpleasant, but just because it's always good to have a rough idea of what's going on. Every single question is great. I've not spent too much time thinking about them. We didn't want to go in with kind of pre-planned answers, so a lot of this is going to be quite off the cuff, off the top of the dome, as some might say. We're going to be freestyling these answers.
This is going to be very improvised.
Here we go. Right, question number 1. This comes from everybody's favourite member of chat, Social Media-less. So we had to screenshot this one and add it to the list in hindsight. Good old Nud. Nud wants to know, do you think Yes, I do. Do I think the lack of features in FM26 is a case of losing something instead of gaining something? As I found out, for me at least, I only looked at, for example, heat maps. I never use stuff actively. I'm formatting that question in my head. So do we think the lack of features in FM26 is a case of losing something instead of gaining something?
In a very real sense, yes. Obviously, if we let's purely for the sake of ease, let's compare 26 to 24. There are a series of things that we know aren't in the game. Several things we know aren't in the game, and every now and again, even little things that you might come across sort of by accident, like one that I've seen a few people going like, oh, I didn't get to see my cup draw, and it's like, yeah, it's not in the game anymore. Or a few people going, oh yeah, like I fast forward, I didn't get my end of season review, must have been a bug. It's not in the game anymore. So there are definitely a few features and a few things that I think, because, and again, this is something you've probably said a bit as well, because we had FM24 for 2 years, we're just used to seeing it all the time. And especially if you use custom skins, we use the SAS skin, many other skins out there, but you're just used to seeing them over and over and over again. So when you jump onto 26 and you get that new UI, there are things that you go, oh, where's that gone? Or, oh, this isn't in the game. Oh, that's not a thing. So I do think that, yes, obviously in 26 we have lost a key section of random little bits and features, but I'd like to think, maybe this is the optimist in me, I'd like to think those are things that have been omitted purely because maybe Sports Interactive just didn't have the time to properly integrate. So as things move on, like we saw with every other FM, there were additions each year. Like, all right, we're going to drip feed like little things. Oh, we've added this thing. We've added the squad planner. We've added Data Hub. What do you think of these? So I do have faith and belief that from 27 onwards, we will slowly start to see things added back in. But I do understand, obviously, 26, there is kind of just sort of like almost a blank canvas for people to work from. So we've definitely lost quite a few things, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about it, necessarily.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the more I'm playing, and I am still very much enjoying playing, but I am starting to, as you say, little bits and pieces that you just grew to expect. I think, again, because so many people spent so many hours on FM24. I mean, a lot of people are averaging anywhere between 500 to 1,000 hours a year on a lot of FMs. So double that for FM24. So you've got some people who have sat, 2,000 hours. And for some people, those might be rookie numbers. But you get that used to a certain style of presentation, as you say, through things like the custom skins, that when you're playing FM26, you might be a little bit more aware that they are not there. But as you say, I hope some of the features do come back. I do really enjoy the end of season roundup. I thought those were those were a nice little touch. I did enjoy those. But again, I think a lot of that data is readily available to you if you just do a little bit of searching for it as well at the same time. If you wanted your average squad ratings, they're always around. The data is there. I think it's just how it's fed to us, and I think that's changed. I think that's a change of people's perceptions. I don't think, in the bigger picture, I don't necessarily think it is to the overall detriment of FM26.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's not. None of the things that are missing are hugely impacting the way I play the game. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved playing a guessing game of who's going to host this cup draw. Loads and loads of fun. Mark Overmars did a lot of cup draws in my last save.
Dan Petrescu. And chap we sat as well.
Dennis Burkham.
Every time. It's great.
I think mine was just think of an old Dutch player. And preferably one that played for Arsenal. If not, other ex-Dutch players are available. But yeah, it's Overmars, Burkamp, Andy van der Meijden. Did the cup draw, fined him 2 weeks' wages. It's from before. from before. So look, to me, it's not having a massive detriment. Would it be nice if those features were in the game? Absolutely, it would. But it doesn't necessarily feel to me that this is it's not having a negative impact on my overall enjoyment of the game. As we've said before on the pod, I think FM26, this is now the foundation of what SI are going to be building on over the next 4, 5, 6, 7 iterations of the game. So these are the foundations, and they're just going to keep adding to it. You would hope they're going to keep adding to it and making it better. And we're going to see more features. People have been joking, and I've seen a lot of jokes about people saying, "Oh, one of the keynote presentation for FM27, we're integrating shouts into the game," and everyone's going to go, "Oh my god, this is the most incredible." It's an old feature. What do you do? They've rebadged it. People are going to, people are making those jokes. I hope things like that do make their way back into the game. I think it will come in time.
Yeah.
But as I say, I don't necessarily think it is to the overall detriment of the game that we have in front of us at the moment.
Yeah, it's less the features. It's more just little quality of life things. I think they're the things that I'm noticing being gone. Like one that really stood out for me earlier, because again, both of us doing a journeyman, so this is relevant to us and any listeners obviously that are also doing a journeyman. When you navigate yourself to the managerial vacancies in the career tab, there is no way to filter the available jobs from the not available jobs. They are obviously ordered in available jobs at the top and then all the employed jobs in your database, but there is no way to look at it and go, all right, I just want to see what's available in Japan. I only want to see the Japanese jobs. You can't filter it just so you see Japan. You have to look at all of them in order and then take it from there, which is a little frustrating, but at the same time, fine. I looked at it and I went, oh, I can't filter it. Oh, all right then, I'll just scroll, and got over it immediately. So it's like, all right, there you go.
It's unplayable.
Movable.
Unplayable. Yeah.
It's move on. Get on with it.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? So to answer your question, to wrap that up for you, do I think the lack of features is a case of losing instead of gaining? Kind of.
Short term, yes. Long term, fingers crossed, no. I think would be
yes. I think that's
quick
fair.
one.
That's very that's fair. But no, lovely question. Thank you for asking. Appreciate it. Gives us something to chat about. We've got a question here from a big man on campus, aka Chuck. Love you, Chuck. What's been one part of the game that has improved most from when the beta first came out to the now full release?
I'm going straight in on this one. This is the one thing that I know so many people were waiting for, and then when they added it in, it was there. 1.5 speed. 1.25, 1.75. Why no 1.5? And then they probably all sat there and went, this is such a good point, guys. Why did we do that? And they were like, better pop it in. And now I can play on 1.5, and it's like, yeah, this feels right. This feels fine. Good. There we go. That's been the biggest improvement for me, because we were talking about it earlier as well. Like, the game does move pretty quick. It just sort of advances through things. Fine. I think maybe that's improved a bit since the update. But the fact that that's in there, it's now
Chef's kiss.
So much more playable. It was fine. It was absolutely fine before, and if they hadn't put it in, I would have been absolutely fine sat on 1.25. But I'm very happy it's there now. I'm going to be a pedant here. I put it on 1.5 when I loaded at the stream for the first time after the full release, and I put it straight back down to 1.25. I was like, it's too fast. Good Lord.
Honestly, I felt like I was in one of the G-force simulators that they use like for NASA, just like shaking, my chin's everywhere. It was horrible. Yeah, I think it's great that it's great that it's in there. As you say, it seems like a bit of a glaring omission. So Terry was doing the 1.25, Chris was doing the 1.75. Barry, how did you get on with the 1.5?
1.5, you say?
No.
I thought you said 15.
Yeah.
I mean,
game's over.
Stupid fast.
Yeah. You load it up and it just finishes. It's brilliant. But no, great. It's great. Again, they've amended it. For me, the biggest improvement, and I know Jeb will be delighted about this, is the being able to, after you finish a match, you can now click the little cross in the on the results screen before you have to click continue in the top corner.
So good.
You
It's
can
so
just
good.
bin that off, because I was doing it every single game I played before the update. I was clicking that little cross at least twice, thinking, what's gone wrong? Then remembering, no.
Yes, it doesn't close.
It doesn't work. And then I was like, and then very much like with a lot of the other features, just move on.
Yeah.
It's okay. Such a nice little, so satisfying. So satisfying. Click on that little cross. I'm very, very happy that now
Didn't
works.
they do something like 300 fixes?
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. And
wild,
obviously I know,
isn't it?
yes, there are still problems. But 300 fixes that's a lot. That's a lot of things to just deal with and just go dealt with.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that Sports Interactive, fine, there's still things that they're working through, but they are dealing with things.
Oh, absolutely, they are. Yeah, the snagging list is getting shorter. It's not completely gone, but it's being worked on. It's being consistently worked on, which is great. Big fan of that behaviour. So 1.5 match speed and being able to click on the little cross to get
Being
rid
able
of
to
the
close
scores.
pop-ups.
Both of
that's
those.
good.
Yeah, both of those things were. And again, in terms of overall stability, I mean, again, touch wood, I've only had one crash so far, and I think that's when my PC just started panicking when I was trying to find a picture to attach to a save tactic.
Oh, I remember you doing that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is probably fine. What if I click on this? And then, you're trying to look at these really old pictures that I haven't thought of for years. And then my PC just had a little panic and closed down. Possibly more of a hardware issue on my end than a software issue. Who knows? But aside from that, it seems to be going okay for the most part.
I did have so when they released the public beta, I'd only had, I think I'd said it, I'd had 1.5 crashes with when it was on the beta. When I put the public beta on, I was like, right, well, obviously I'm not going to play the stream save. I'll go back to Brighton. I'll do pre-season. Why not? Let's do some signings and stuff. And I did half of pre-season. Thank God I clicked save, because I continued a day and it went, nah, not today, and just shut down. I was like, oh, well, all right then. I'll lose that last week's worth of transfers that I did.
Yeah, that's probably fine.
But since then, like, again, it has been an incredibly stable, at least at my end, FM has been very, very stable. I know a few people have suffered crashes, which aren't great and not ideal, but you know.
Exactly. No, same on my end. I think had it not been for my curiosity, I think everything would have been fine. You know, I come from people that have been around since the early days of Rich Owen streaming. My original gaming PC that, you know, had 8 gig of RAM and 4 gig of that RAM wasn't connected properly. So I was trying to run a PC on 4 gig of RAM, and if it tried to do 2 things at once, it just panicked and it needed to go sit in the corner and really think about what it was doing. Oh no.
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
2 programs at once. Are you mad? So I'm the most cautious FM player in the world, because I save so frequently, especially when I'm playing offline. I think I do it more. I think I control an S at least once every 5 minutes, just in case. It's just ingrained into my brain to do it now.
It happened with me, because I don't know if you remember tail end of FM24 for me. FM24 crashed for me every stream, usually around the hour mark, or sometimes during the first match. FM would crash every time. So for the last 3 or 4 months, before every game, I'm like, yeah, it's sort of a Pavlovian conditioning. I hit Control S before the start of every single match now, and it's carried over into this, and it's helped. It's helped make it not explode and, you know, not work anymore, which is good.
It's always useful. Always useful, isn't it? I remember back in the days of the old Tony Jameson Discord challenges. My computer crashed after a game, and it was Ice Town. I think it was one of the random leagues. It was one season, and I played a game on stream and I was favourites to win and I lost 3-1.
Oh.
But then FM crashed before I had chance to save after the game. So I reloaded FM and we went back through it, and goodness gracious me, I must have simulated that game, gone on holiday, because I was like, I can't, because if you're not unaware of the concept of the old TJ Discord challenges, it was a 1 month save or 1 season saves, and did loads of them. Did Leeds United in the first season. We did did Brisbane Roar, Roma, the Bordeaux, Sunderland. There are always little caveats in them, like Sunderland. You had to have one big striker and one little striker, and you had to play 4-4-2. Perfect, peak TJ. But we're doing this Ice City save, and because it was part of the challenge, I was like, well, I don't want to be the guy that lost the banker and then went back and played it again and won 7-0, which is the score you would expect. Yeah. And I must have sat there, and I think it took about 90 minutes of just loading at the game, going on holiday for a day. Oh, you've won 4-0. No, need to keep going back and save scumming until I lost 3-1.
Wow.
But it's just that. And I was there as the match was ending. My hand was, I was poised over control and I was ready to press save so I could continue it. And but had it not been for that, like I say, Pavlovian needing to save, it would have been 3 weeks back, and I would have just had a little cry, thrown the whole thing in the bin. But, those were the days. Those were the days. Lovely. So anyway, those are the features that we like. Those are the good things. Tangents. I've got a question here, Dee. Got a question here from a fella called Jabaru. Oh, it's Jeb. It's Jeb.
Hi, Jeb.
Hi, Jeb. I hope you're well. Jeb would like to know. Well, Jeb's got 2 questions for us. It's the first of Jeb's questions.
Oh, lovely.
Jeb would like to know who would win in a big FMT scrap and why. Current and ex-presenters can be included. A caveat here, this is the only question that I immediately formed an answer to in my head when I read it the first time, and I've thought about it a lot since, and my answer remains the same.
Go on, you do yours first while I think.
You have a little think about it. For me, it is as night and day as it could possibly be. Now, again, for context, I'm including the whole former past and present FM team, all the way back to episode 1 with Matt and Tony, all the way to today. And I can unequivocally say, without any doubt in my mind, that Alice, FM girl, would batter all of us twice on Sundays, without question. I just have this image of, we're all lined up outside the octagon waiting to go in one by one as she's just wailing on somebody. It's like, do you like that, bruv? Do you like that? It frightens me. Stop. He's already dead. We're all screaming from the outside. Alice doesn't care. Alice would have us all, no questions asked. Wonderful human being, but terrifying. And I think Alice would like that as the answer. Yeah, I think it's fitting. I think if we said anybody but Alice, I think she'd take offence, and I don't want her to, because I don't want her to batter me. I think that's fair.
Okay. I think I'm about to get beaten up by Alice then.
I think we all are. I think all of us are on the cusp constantly.
Yeah.
None of us are really safe.
Any given moment.
Burst through the door behind us, wailing on us in a Llanwith major shirt.
Trying to teach a lesson and she just kicks the door down. You! Mine, I'm going on a slightly different tangent. Alice is an incredible shout. And I think you're 100% right. I'm going on a different tangent. I'm going for Kev.
Okay.
I'm going for Kev because Kev would fight us all with kindness.
He really would.
It wouldn't. He wouldn't. It would there'd be the scrap going on. I think probably what Kev would do is he'd let everybody else fight amongst themselves. Everybody would be beating each other up. So me and Callum meet with each other in headlocks and whatnot. Steak bake with the chair on TJ, and then it whittles down to the remaining person, which is probably Alice.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
It's probably Alice. And then Alice would see Kev, and Kev would just be his usual wonderful self, and she'd go, I forfeit. I can't do this. And she wouldn't do it. And then he'd get the chair and smack her around the face and absolutely decimate her. And then, from the top rope. Yeah, and then, boom, she's given in through his kindness, and then he...
I mean, he was the reigning and defending, FM World Heavyweight Champion for a long time, for good reason.
My answer.
There we go. See, it all makes sense. See, now in my head, it's essentially a Hulk and Black Widow situation, isn't it? Kev's like looking at this Alice just covered in blood and viscera, just like
sun's going down.
Yeah, sun's getting real low, Alice. Sun's getting real low.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, get why is Kev not a hostage negotiator? He's just made for it. He's made for it. There is no scenario that Kev can't instantly resolve just by being objectively wonderful. Incredible. I think both answers are good. Both answers are good. And I think there's only one way to settle it. Next FMT live show.
Yes.
Kev versus Alice. Hell in a Cell.
Oh, how much would people pay to see that?
Oh my goodness! I mean, we've got to build the cell first, but I think we could make it work. If we book it, they will come. Right. Next question comes from the wonderful Project Football podcast. Good people. Good. We've both been guests.
People.
Both guests. Yeah. What a wonderful time. What a wonderful time. Wonderful pod. Question is, if you're offered a job for a team that you don't like, do you take it for the sake of progress in your save and do as well as you can? Take it and sabotage them, or decline it completely?
I feel like, I think we both would have two. I feel like there's two options here, because I feel like if it was just a team I didn't like, okay, and let's just talk broad strokes. Somebody like, someone like RB Leipzig is popular to dislike, right? Or MK Dons, right? Someone like that, who sort of objectively across Britain, everybody seems to just sort of despise MK Dons because, of how they were formed. In that scenario, I am just declining it.
Yes.
But if it was Wolves, maybe content brain kicks in and it's Ajax all over again. We go for destroy and exit.
Yeah.
I would also more than likely just decline it, but I feel like I would go, well, let's just save this here and we might have a little bit of fun with this at a later point. And then, cool, we've completed the main save. Let's go back and have a little check-in on Wolves. Oh, you seem to have signed 40 goalkeepers from the National League. This isn't going to pan out well for you, is it? And who's that in goal? Lorenzo Insigne. Oh.
Fantastic.
Let's get you guys down to the National League yourselves.
Come on. We're using the editor and we just keep changing Lorenzo Insigne's age so he just can't die. He gets smaller, gets an inch shorter every year.
Or every time he says, I think I'm going to retire this year. Not a problem, editor. Not retiring. Just make him live forever.
Yeah. Keep on going. Yeah. Like that horrible Rick and Morty simulation where time is slower, but it hasn't completely stopped. I think kind of similarly to yourself, and I don't know where I've done it subconsciously, but for the most part, especially last year doing What's the Story and kind of doing a bigger journeyman and kind of leaving it more up to chance about where the interesting jobs were. I don't think I've ever found myself in a situation where I've had to really consider an offer from a club that I wouldn't want to take over. And again, similarly to yourself with Wolves, if somebody offered me the Sheffield United job, again, wouldn't it be objectively hilarious for them to get written off? But at the same time,
yeah,
is the 15 to 20 hours that it's going to take me to do that? Is that worth it? Yes,
that
but
is
also
that is an after save plan. That's where I would leave it.
I'll park it
if I was going to
do a nonsense. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, look, I've taken some jobs I wasn't expecting to take, especially last year, just a very brief stint with England, just for the sake of taking a job, which was fine. But again, in terms of team I don't like I say, I've been a bit tactical in trying to avoid it a little bit, or even putting the caveats in for myself, so it's not necessarily scenarios I'm going to find myself in. But again, when those jobs do come up, and again, if the longer you play a save for, the longer it goes on, the more likely one of these jobs is going to become available inevitably.
Yeah, so true.
Like you do with do a destroy and exit, or just try and do it from the outside. Try and do it without even having to take over the club.
Smart.
Way back in the day, a fella I used to work with called Chris, we used to just send each other screen grabs of our FM saves via Facebook Messenger of an evening when we were both sat playing, and it was great. And then we'd just chat about it the next day at work. It's fantastic. He had a Juve save, and in his universe, Arsenal had been relegated after about 3 or 4 seasons. And this is going back to like the FM 7-8 days, where they still had a very very good squad. And they'd been relegated, and it was back then very rare to see one of the big boys go down. I think it was FM21 maybe. Spurs got relegated pretty much every time first season, like they were woeful. But Arsenal went down, and over the course of the next couple of months, he'd send me another screenshot. I was like, they're in the relegation zone of the Championship, and that they're in League One now, and they ended up on the cusp of relegation in League Two, and he did it by just signing all of their good youth players. He was like, we are generations into this game. I have more money than I will ever need. I think he was saying, like, when I lose a game, I will end the save. And 3 seasons later, he's undefeated. It's like, well, we'll just keep going until I lose. And then it just turned into, well, I've lost a few games now, but I can just keep spending my infinite wealth on Arsenal's youth team players, leaving them with nothing. And they just kept tumbling down the divisions. So you can do it externally if you really, really wanted to. It is something
that's a very clever way of destroying a team.
Yeah.
Very smart.
Yeah, just do it that way. And I was like, can we have him back on loan? No. Same as the last 25 players I've signed from you. The answer is a resounding no, he's mine now. He's never going to kick a ball for me, but he's also never going to kick a ball for you. Oh, bless them. Enjoy Dagenham and Redbridge away, Arsenal. You enjoy that. Lovely stuff. Right, another question here from, dare I say, a former podcast Booderino of ours.
Oh.
Why Callum? Hi, Callum. Hope you're very well this evening. Callum would like to know. There was a prerequisite to Callum's question, but it was just gibberish. So we're not going to read it. Sorry about woodchucks. You can tell that man's got a pass for a zoo. He's obsessed with animals. Callum would like to know how we would replace shouts if they're not going to be returning to the game. Make a new feature.
Ooh.
Interesting.
That's tricky. That's a
that
tricky one.
That is tricky.
Because I feel like I would, if we're replacing shouts, we need to replace shouts with something of a similar ilk. Okay. And I'm trying to think of something in real life, something that managers would do. Okay. I've got one. I've got an idea. So fine. We can no longer shout at the players anymore. I'd love to be able to wind up the opposition manager and fans.
That's very
just
nice.
Have like as opposed to shouts, manager reactions. So so you see on the side of the pitch, say like they score, you can hit a reaction, even if it's in the replay. You hit a reaction that's like pump fists. So then at the end of the replay, it cuts to you, and it's just your manager giving it the big uns. It would have like you'd have like special bonus ones that maybe you unlock after a certain number, where you get like the Mourinho, where you get to cup your ear and sort of hold it to the, hold it to the crowd, or the Klopp, where you run down the sideline, give a fist bump, your glasses fall off, and you pull your leg. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that, or the Roy Hodgson, the opposition score, and your head just dips down and you look sad. Little things like that. Just manager reactions would be quite funny, I think, and would also maybe bring a little bit of that in-game, in-match immersion back, where you actually get to openly react in a way. That's my submission.
I love that. I really, really like that. That's a really, really good shout. Which they aren't onto the game anymore. I think my way around a shout would be, I'm just thinking more from our recent footballing excursion. I think now, not always a goer, depending on the country you're managing in or the conditions, but water breaks, which I know, especially in those summer months, or especially in a lot of those hot countries, you get a little water break on the 20th minute, and you get one on the 70th as well. So you can't do it constantly, but midway through a game, it's almost like a mid-half team talk. So you can go, you can do your feedback. You can start, you can give individual chattings. You can go the full Phil Brown and have them all sit down on the pitch and wag your finger at them. You can do all of these things. And again, in terms of the immersion, like if you're playing, they've given Egypt the World Cup, and it's 38 degrees. Every 10 minutes, you're going to have the little chance to everyone comes over and everyone hydrates, and you can give those instructions, and you can start doing. You can start a little bit of that. And again, it can always very similar to the halftime team talks. It's contextual. Like we've conceded. So my first Champions League game with Feyenoord, we conceded literally the highlight from kickoff. I think we played Bran and they scored 14 seconds in. And again, if there'd been like a little thing, it's like, right, you conceded early. What you're doing, sort your lives out. Stop being bad and start doing good sport. You can have, rather than having to wait till half time, that's going to be more impactful not long after they've scored the goal. And again, it makes it, again, in terms of that immersion, rather than, and don't get me wrong, I miss the shouts. I do miss them. I've said it on stream a number of times over the last week or so. Like, this is the point where I would be yelling encourage or demand, or praising. I'd be doing something at this point. Feels a bit more hands-on because you're reacting to the game and you're able to feed that back to the players mid-game. Water breaks, that's what I would do. Or if you're managing in a really, really cold country, Bovril breaks, Come right,
hot
everyone come out.
Break.
Yeah. Yeah. You've been terrible. You don't get whipped cream. You've been fantastic. You can have a marshmallow. And they'd be...
Thanks, Gav. Thank you.
See? Powerful motivator. Trust me, as
like
somebody with 2 kids under 10 in the house, marshmallows are huge in terms of morale, keeping that up.
I mean, if you want to get me to do something, a couple of flumps.
Exactly. I gave my son a marshmallow earlier today, and he looked delighted. His face also turned bright green as well, which was a bit weird, but still.
Was he angry?
So he was very ill, very ill. Oh. That's what the faces used to do on Football Manager. You see, that's the point we're making. That's the point we're making.
Yeah, I did
there we go.
Then.
Water breaks, manager reactions, all of these, perfect.
Yeah.
Here's a fun question from friend of the podcast. Route 1. Actually, you know what? We're gonna come back to this one a little bit later. Now I've read it, because it's fairly similar to Callum's question. So we will come back to your question shortly, Root. But don't worry, we will answer it. Here's a question from the Goodyear. That's Dave bloody Goodyear.
Oh, what a man.
Question from Dave Goodyear. Do you think there's any chance that FM carries the microtransactions that are already in the mobile version of the game into the PC version, and even introduce a Battle Pass style season ticket for add-on? Well, It's not like we've already recorded an entire podcast about this about 6 months ago, Dave, but I'm sure we'll answer your question.
What I was going to say, we've speculated what
We have
our
wildly
battle passes
speculated.
would be.
Yeah.
Wildly
Of course we have.
speculated.
Yes.
Is there a chance? Oh, there's always a chance. I hope that it never happens because I know who was I watching? FM Console. He had a video where he's talking about how there are just these sort of series of mini microtransactions in console now where you have to pay to rest your team, which I hope is well. First of all, I don't hope that that is the only way you can rest players, and I hope that all of the things that are buy-ons are also unlockable through playing the game, but. And I really hope as well that if you need to rest the player in FM on console, it's literally a case of, go to the training, rest for a day. So seeing that it was added onto console, I wasn't the biggest fan of. And that's me being polite. I definitely saw that and just thought that's not behavior I'm encouraging. Coming over to PC, there's always a chance. Because that is the nature of modern video games, right? The microtransaction is especially in a lot of sport games. We know EAFC has so many different variables of the loot box, which are all just microtransactions or buying your card packs. I really hope it never comes to PC in a way that affects us from playing the game normally. I will say that. Because there have been in the past, there have been things that you can buy. Obviously, you buy something like the in-game editor. That is an add-on that has a transaction. It's not something that comes with the game. But I really hope that they don't add it. Again, adding it in a way of like, oh, you want to rest? You've got tired players after a game. That'll be a quid. Like, what do you mean it'll be a quid? What do you mean it'll be £1? I want to rest my players for a couple of days. Money, give me now. Yeah, I hope SI never turn the PC game into that, because I think that, I know obviously this year there's been a lot of people unhappy with 26. I think if they did that, that could be a series killer. Something like that,
absolutely.
in my opinion at least. Yeah,
I very much agree with you. Very much agree. I say, Dave, we joke, I joke. We wildly speculated about the silly things they could put into the game. In terms of actual practical adaptation of that in FM on PC, there's not really a huge amount that I think a battle pass style system could offer you that you couldn't just do with the in-game editor anyway, really. So using, I mean, again, because I play a little bit of it, using EAFC as an example, they have the free one, and then they also have the paid one. And in terms of what you get from the paid one, it gives you a selection of like the loot boxes and the packs. You get an amount of those. It also gives you access to special versions of players that you wouldn't be able to normally get otherwise. And in that context, without that loot box, without that battle pass, there's no other way of obtaining those rewards. In Football Manager, like if they were to say to you, and I know, for example, the old EAFC and the old FIFA career modes used to have similar things as well. If you unlock level 50, you get a special scout will come in, and this scout will find you a player with over 90 potential in terms of like the FIFA ratings. And they'll come in and they'll do that for you. Fine, because it's offline, and that's just how it works. You couldn't put that in Football Manager. And you could say, get to level 40 and this scout will go out and it will find you a South American wonder kid with a certain PA that will want to sign for your club. Because you can just do that with the editor. You can do anything. You can do literally anything you want within the confines of the game with the editor. You want a new stadium, you can build yourself a new stadium. Want to, make Lorenzo Insigne play football forever. You can do that. You have the capacity.
And we have.
And we have
done that.
And it's still going now. He's 105 and we just won't let him rest. So for me, I think the practical application of it is there's nothing that you could really get from a battle pass system in a Football Manager game that you can't already just create yourself with the in-game editor. And as we always say on the pod, there's no right or wrong way of playing FM. If giving yourself a full Wonder Kid starting 11 in the Vanarama makes you really, really happy and makes you enjoy the game, brilliant. Go and do it. Fantastic. Live your life. If just playing as Man City every year, doing 2 seasons as City, and then never touching it again makes you happy, fantastic. That's how you enjoy the game. You enjoy the game. It's there to be played the way you want to play it. It doesn't appeal to me. It's not one of those things that I enjoy. I mean, back in the old LMA Manager days, there was a phone number that you could call, and it would give you codes to unlock all the LMA Manager cheats. And one of my friends did it one year, and he was like, "Oh, look at what I've done! I've built a new stadium overnight." I'm like, "Cool." And he was like, "Oh, yeah, I've done it now." And that cost me £1.50.
No.
Could have just played the game for a couple of seasons and got it. Well, that's the thing. For me with FM, because it's a predominantly single player game, a lot of people it's a single player experience. You can play it however you want, but if they're going to go down that microtransaction route, just practically, there's nothing that you can't already do in game editor
to get the only way they'd be able to make it work.
Those rewards. And I think, again, you can set up scenarios for yourself. Again, you can use that editor. You can set up scenarios for yourself. If you want to do a bottom at Christmas challenge, you can do that. You can sim half a season, take over whoever's bottom. There's nothing that I think they're offering that you could spend additional money on the game on that you can't just do yourself anyway. I very much agree with you, Dee, though, that for me, I think, given a lot of people's reaction to 26 in general, there is a very, very big battle passy coffin nail they could drive in that I think would destroy a lot of faith from a lot of people when it comes to Football Manager. It's not for me.
I'm sure I've seen, or at least heard, that something along the lines of that Miles has said that whilst he's in charge, that will never happen. I think I heard that somewhere. I hope I heard that somewhere and I not misheard something. So, careful quoting me on that. I have not cited my source, but I think you're right with the in-game editor. That's how we'd be able to just do all of the things that they might make you want to pay extra for. But then I think the only way they'd ever be able to make something like a microtransaction system work was to get rid of the in-game editor and the pre-game, which would be awful. And again, I think that would cause especially losing the pre-game editor would upset some people we care about quite a lot who make amazing databases. So it would, I think, I hope and pray we never see microtransactions in Football Manager in a way that affects all of us playing the game normally. Which I think is an incredibly diplomatic way of saying it. Because if they add some random things that are like I say, I think like the in-game editor, you could put under the umbrella of a microtransaction in a way. It's an add-on to the game that you buy. Fine. But I think overall, don't do it. Please never do it, Sports Interactive.
You're better than that.
Or Rich will get you.
Oh, if I survive Alice, then...
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll set Alice on you.
We'll send Alice round and she'll have you one by one. Relentless. Here's a question for us from another of our podcast Booderinos. It's the bloody Steakity Bakety. Hello, Steaky. Miss you and love you.
Love you, buddy.
We'll see you soon. Steak would like to know the following. Our early favourites in the following 3 categories. Favourite player in our new FM26 saves. Favourite new position for both. He's written, it looks like he's written I poop, but there is a hyphen in there. So in possession / out of possession.
Yeah.
Favourite pooping possession. And finally, our favourite new screen. I can answer one of those very, very quickly. And it's the one that, ironically, I thought I was going to struggle with, and then it's just popped into my head. I really like this year I really, really like your transfer history, the way that is presented now.
Oh.
Because what I really enjoy seeing is not just you get your, very much like last year, you get your incoming and outgoings, contrast and compare. What I really, really like is that you get all the in-season stats for the players that you have sold and the players that you have bought in. I love that. I think that's a really, really nice little feature.
Here's another add-on just on that, because I've just clocked it as well. You see how much profit you've made.
Yes.
Love
Yes,
that
you
little
do.
detail. Hadn't thought of that page, but that is a nice one. I'm gonna go on. Sorry, you were
No,
going to say
but yeah.
thing. I was going to say, to add on top of yours, my favourite new screen is also in transfers, and it's the transfer room's ins and outs. I think the transfer room out, great way of getting rid of people you don't want, because basically people are saying they want that, and you can go, oh, got a fella here if you want him, and they'll go, oh, thank you very much. And then the ins is a great way of it's another way, I think, of doing the recruitment focus of, instead of just going, oh, right, I need the scouts to go out and find me a centre back who is under the age of 25, who has 20 jumping reach, go and do. You could easily just on there go, I need a centre back, and there's a strong chance that at least someone's going to go, we don't want this guy anymore. And you might go, actually, he's quite good, he'll do the job. Why was I being so specific with the other search? And then you'll get someone in.
Yeah, it's great. Love how that information is presented. I'm looking at mine now, and it's making me really happy, because it's season 1 and I've just inherited all these players. Everything's profit. Everything that's gone out for me so far is profit. I'm like, yes.
Would
When I
you
start
like
seeing
to know?
losses, then I get really sad.
Would you like to see how much profit I have made so far at Santiago Morning?
How much profit have you made so far at Santiago Morning?
£4,501 profit. Apparently, getting rid of Diego Foundes made us £1 in profit.
Can't put a price on that. I mean, about you get £1.
There's a quid.
Yeah, whole pound.
I could rest my players that week.
Love that. Love that. Yeah. I'm just really looking. Hwang Boom, £44 million to Al Hilal. That's £44 million worth of pure profit for Richie.
Oh, yeah. Cash monies.
Sublime. Absolutely fantastic. And again, like, I'm looking at this, and in terms of favourite players, there's a nice segue for you, Stakey. Dan, would you like to have a guess about who my favourite player at Feyenoord might be?
I already know the answer to this. I knew the answer whilst collating these questions. As soon as I saw that, your favourite player in your new FM26 save, is it by any chance your favourite player in your old FM24 save? Is it Luka Toplovic?
It is Luka Toplovic, do you?
Oh.
Who saw that coming, apart from literally everybody who's been paying attention to anything I've done for the last 2 years?
But he is good.
He is so good. He is so good. Look, for context, for anybody who might be listening to the podcast for the first time, during my save last year, I did a save called What's the Story, Former Glory? Big old journeyman. Went around the world fixing football clubs, restoring reputations. I stumbled upon this player, Luka Toplovic. I found him very early doors. I think when I was managing at San Etienne. As I say, he's a Slovenian. He comes from, is it Domžale in Slovenian leagues?
Yeah, Domžale, yeah.
Domžale, thank you. You're very good at pronunciation.
I spent 3 years in Slovenia on my save.
There it is.
I got corrected a lot by chat. So it's all good.
Yeah, so he comes from Domžale, and I was like, this lad has got a bit about him. And cumulatively, over the next 11 seasons of the save, I spent a cumulative £250 million on him, just bringing him to the next club, to the next club, to the next club.
That's my favourite thing about your whole save is you spent 250 million on one person.
Yeah, just one man, because I adored him, because he was so good at everything. And shock, in real life, I got very, very giddy when I found out that last year he got got a big break. He's moved to Inter Milan in real life, or Blue Neri, depending on the game you're playing. And would you believe it? He's available on loan. So first man in the door. And I absolutely adore him. He is he is. Sometimes you get that feeling, don't you? Oh, have I maybe looked at this through rose-tinted glasses? Maybe just a little bit too much. You know, was I being objective in terms of my my love for him? No, I wasn't. He's already come in. He's got goals. He's assisting. He's one of the most consistently high performers in my team. Shockingly enough, I'm going to try and sign Luka Toplovic as much as I can on FM26 as well. There's one other lad. I picked him up today. Thank you. Shout out to How We Roll Owen, friend of the podcast. Franculino, who's he's a big striker from Guinea-Bissau. Starts the game at another of my favourite former teams, Midtjylland. Needed a big lad up top. Scouts were like, oh, give him a go. See what he's like. Attributes were looking quite nice, but he wasn't fully scouted. And I was like, it's transfer deadline day. And bless him, Owen went, take the risk. Go on, roll the dice. You know you want to. So I did. And I've brought him in. And I was like, if this is bad, my PC might crash. We might just have to, oh no, what's happened here? Oh no, it's one of those bugs. And he's come through and he's phenomenally good. Like his lowest physical attribute is 13. Mentally, he's fantastic. Technically, he's brilliant. And he's come in and he's scored 3 in his first 3. And again, he's one of those players. He's coming from Midtjylland. He cost about £13 million. His wage demands are very low for a club that I'm in the Champions League somehow. He wants 18 grand a week, and
that's pretty good, actually.
Which isn't bad. So again, if you're managing any decent European club and you need a big striker, Franculino's your man. Like honestly, he looks, and he's got very, very high ceiling in terms of potential as well. So could be a bit of a worldie. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how he and Luka Toplovic link up during me time at finals.
I like it. Players. So I'm going to go one from Brighton. I'm going to go one from Santiago Morning from my 26 and 26. For Brighton, I've got to go Kiko.
Oh,
got to go Kiko Psycho. Oh my God, absolute baller. Every single time she got the ball, I was just like, I can't wait to see what you do with this because this is going to be magical. Scored so many goals, so many assists. Absolute hero of that save. Because I'm quite early on in this one. One name that stands out to me is Thomas Asprilla, an Argentinian 30-year-old, not spelt like Faustino, different spelling for Asprilla, but considering that we're in the second tier and he is good enough for the top tier, he's been pretty good for me. He's kind of ripped the league apart. And definitely helped us perform way better than Santiago should do, because in real life, this team got relegated with 29 points.
Oof.
With me managing them and having basically the same selection of players. I think I've only signed a handful. We've come second.
Oof.
And have playoffs.
Oh,
so yeah, Tommy Asprilla. I'm also going to chuck out a little honourable mention for Alejandro Fernandez, also Argentinian and a little bit younger. I think he's got potential. He's got some potential in him. I don't know if they'll be very applicable to anybody doing saves outside of the Chilean second tier, but they look good there. They might do a job if you're just in South America.
Absolutely. No.
Yeah.
Players to look out for. Yeah, Kiko. Kiko, so good. I mean, what an introduction to the match engine as well.
Yeah.
Watching the dribbling and getting to actually see her just borderline abusing fullbacks.
That was great.
Phenomenally good. In terms of new favourite positions or roles, D, and there's couple that spring to mind for me. I think mine are more based around the system I'm using. They just seem to fit really nicely.
Yeah.
Got anything that's particularly tickled your pickle tactically?
This is maybe going to sound very general, but in terms of the outer, it's kind of two out of position ones. It's as far as wingbacks having them be able to press, and wingers tracking back. So kind of both of them sort of inverting as it comes to those things. Big fan of the tracking wingers. I did play very briefly before starting to stream in stuff. I did a save with Tottenham Women's, and they have a winger called Naz.
Ooh, yes.
Who set as a tracking winger, so defensively, I swear every highlight that started without us having the ball would about halfway through, she would win the ball back, regardless of where it was on the pitch. I'll even add as well. So maybe there's something a bit broken about it, but at the same time, she would just charge back, win the ball, and it would start an attack for us. Love the tracking wingers. In possession, nothing is blowing my mind, but I think that's mainly because the ones that I've been using so far are similar to ones I used before. Like I could say channel forward. That's just, I think, a rebranding of wide target forward. And then everything like centre forward. I think that's just advanced forward, isn't it? But just renamed.
Pretty
kind
much,
of, yeah. So there's a couple I need to dive into. I did briefly used free roll as an attacking midfielder. I liked free roll. I thought that looked fun. So we shall see. There's a few more in possession ones I want to play around with, but those would be my out of possession ones. How about you?
Yeah, interesting touch on the free roll there that you mentioned for the attacking midfielders. That's what I had Fran Kirby doing for me at Brighton Women's. Fantastic. Just if you've got somebody who's got the attributes for it, just go and
Just do what you want.
Go and do a midfield. Just go on, go live your life. So she was fantastic at that. I'm very much liking, because I'm playing narrow with Feyenoord, and out of possession. So I was starting out. It was a 4-1-2-2-1. So DM, 2 centre mids, 2 attacking mids, and then a central striker. After bringing in Large Frank, I was like, this is 2 strikers, because if we can get Big Frank and Big Shaq, now we're talking.
Still not big.
But in terms of out of possession, it almost drops back into a bit of a box. So I've got like a 4-1-2-1-2. The attacking midfielder drops down into a central midfield, and then one of the strikers drops a bit deeper as like an outlet, advanced playmaking outlet, and then they've got a striker as an outlet as well, who's a bit faster. But I really, really like both the lads that drop back into the midfield too. Basically, they are now down as wide covering central midfielder. So if I'm playing against a team who's set up with a 4-1-2, 4-2-3-1, they're out, and I've got them man marking the opposition fullbacks.
Nice.
And it's great, because they essentially just start to strangle the moves. There's 2 defensive midfielders behind them, so they're kind of covering in the middle as well. And I found that to be really quite helpful. So they both do their jobs brilliantly, because again, neither of the lads that I would normally use in those positions are particularly defensively minded, but they are physically present, and they can do enough, and sometimes that's all it takes. So really, really loving that. Again, in terms of in possession, I liked Fran Kirby in the free role. I've got Luka Toplivic. He's now playing as the excuse me, take a second to load. He's just the midfield playmaker, which I want to say is almost like a rebadged Trequartista a little bit, 'cause it's not the deep lying playmaker, it's not the advanced playmaker. I think it's kind of something in between. He's not in the channels necessarily. I don't know, maybe he's not running the channels, but he seems to be great, because he gives him a bit of time on the ball. He's not always bombing forwards. taking a little bit of time. Almost the Barry Bannon role. I think I see that in for him. Bit of Barry Bannon. Let him be the quarterback. Let him just, make the passes, do what he wants. Just ping the ball around a little bit. I'm enjoying that one. Again, considering his average rating for me at the moment. So he's been in since pretty much day dot, and he's averaging a 7.2 at the moment, which isn't terrible by any stretch. So it's working for him. So it's not his favoured role, but it seems to suit his attributes and it suits the way I play. So I quite like that one. As I say, the more we play and the more, especially for me, there will probably be other roles. I'll give that a go and it will just change everything for me. But in and out, those are the ones for me.
I've definitely been checking more of the out of possession roles, I think, just because they're kind of the new ones. Honourable mentions for pressing defensive midfielder and screening defensive midfielder. Honourable mentions for them as well, because they're fun. Yes. They're good in the game.
That's it. I feel like I've got the opportunity to experiment, because one of the things I look for, especially when I'm running a narrow formation, is stamina. I just want people that can run. Yeah. And so, with those roles, especially with the out of possession roles, if it's screening, if it's whatever it might be, if I need somebody to leg it a little bit, I think somebody that can do that high stamina just means that you can experiment with these things a bit more, doesn't it? And see what works. There we go. Because look at us sounding like we know what we're talking about. Terrifying. Right then, FMG. FM gang.
Got FM, no game.
FM gang. Aside from fixing bugs and crashes, what one change would we make to FM26 to help improve it?
Oh, there are. Here you go. Here's one that definitely springs to mind, because straight off the bat, there are a couple of things that I think in game happen too quickly that could have I've definitely said this on the pod before. It's introducing just a bit of a beat before certain things happen. So. Disallowed goal appearing on the screen, especially if you play in leagues that don't have VAR. Disallowed goal appearing on the screen as soon as the ball touches the back of the net takes a little bit of the suspense away. So just give it, make it trigger, I don't know, you think of it like a second later. So you get goal, celebrate, disallowed. But at the same time, you've had that little, again, like you would watching a game, it's that little lift. Or it's disallowed, you see disallowed as soon as they know the call is being made, not just instant. Same with VAR, you get disallowed appeared on the screen and then the VAR kicks in. I'd want that little break of goal scored, go to VAR. Yes, it's been disallowed. Or no, it's not a goal. Just those little things that just add a little bit of pacing in the right way, I think, just to make it just feel a little bit more real, because sometimes there's just things just happen and it's gone. You're like, oh, all right then. All right,
well, I think that's because you're playing on 1.5 speed, D. I think that's the issue there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Us down on 1.25. Oh my goodness gracious me. The drama. No, I've seen the same thing. I had a couple of penalty shouts today, and it was. I saw penalty awarded while the VAR logo was still up on the screen, because then one of them was a Champions League game. Yeah. And it was it's gone down to the box. They're checking VAR. And it goes, penalty awarded. And I was still checking VAR. Might not, but are you?
Are you?
Do I have a penalty? Sam Steen needs to miss it one way or the other, but he just needs to know if he's going to do it now or later. Is this something that we can clear up quicker? Yeah. I think that's a valid point. I think just let the match day experience breathe a little bit more. And I think you'd be onto a REIT winner there.
Yeah, I think it's nice. Especially as well, because this year I know a lot of people, especially with the match engine, beautiful as it is to sit in, I think a lot of people managing in games feel a little bit detracted. Like a lot of people, because we don't have that shouts, there's that missing immersion of you helped the team get there. So you do feel, as I've heard many people refer to it, being a bit like a passenger. So even just things that make watching the game a bit more realistic to life, just to give it a bit of pacing, bit of storytelling, Was it a goal? Wasn't it a goal? Has someone been shot? Who knows? Little things.
Exactly that. Give us, yeah. Has there been I missed the murder. Sorry, I was busy. Didn't see that
We're
one.
too busy distracted by the offside call.
Yeah, which is still going on. The match finished 2 days ago. They still haven't decided. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think they're both good shouts. I think it, again, it's getting, the game itself is getting progressively better with each patch anyway. So a lot of the things that are frustrating, I said, like we talked about earlier, they're just being picked up and they're being resolved. They're listening.
I think so. Yeah.
Good changes are happening, which is always lovely. Here's a question from Jebaroo. Hi, Jeb. Hope you're well.
Hi, Jeb. Welcome back.
Jeb would like to know, who is your favourite Alan?
My favourite Alan?
Your favourite Alan?
Oh, I mean, Rickman's got to be a good shout.
Rickman's a great shout.
If I'm allowed to go outside of sport.
Oh, please, yeah. I don't think his question was sport specific. It's just which Alan is the best Alan.
Rickman would be very high up on my list. You know, Snape, pretty important role in my life growing up. Obviously, he's Hans Gruber as well in Die Hard, the greatest Christmas film. Fight me, come at me, bro. Yeah, I'm going Rickman.
Okay, nice. I like it.
Where are you leaning? Who's your favourite Alan?
Tough one. I think I'm going to go Lily.
Alan Lily? Lily Allen.
There it is.
That took a while.
I like Lily Allen.
Yeah.
I think Lily Allen is great. I think she's got a sense of humour.
Yeah.
And I appreciate a sense of humour. It's quite wonderful.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was showing some friends. I had some friends over on Friday night, and Lily Allen came up because of her recent album release and her her relationship with the copper from Stranger Things going south. David Arbor. And I showed my friends a clip from a podcast I enjoy very much. It's run by a couple of fantastic comics. Freddie Quinn and Rob Mulholland. It's called Dead Men Talking. And there's a wonderful clip from an episode of Dead Men a little while back where the producer kind of said, apparently Lily Allen listens to this. And they went off on a bit of a tangent about Lily Allen. And it's not appropriate to repeat what they were saying on this podcast.
No.
But all I'll say is, if you wonder, pause this one and just go on to, go to YouTube and type in "Dead Men Talking" Lily Allen, and there's the clip pops up, and it's great. And the best thing about it is that she responded to it about 24 hours later.
Wow.
Spelling out something in balloons, and that's all I'll say.
Okay.
That is all I will say. But yeah, she responded to their pod, and I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, she just seems class. Lily Allen, we talk a lot, and I've talked about it on stream a fair bit about parasocial relationships. But I think I'd just like to be mates with Lily Allen. I just think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
She
like if we're going on a night out, should we see if Lily's free? Oh, she is.
Yes.
Come down.
So yeah, exactly.
Good for a drink. Good for a night out.
Lily,
good enough.
If you're listening to this. Gives a call. Let's hang on. Let's play Football Manager. Let's have a bevy. We'll have a good time. If you want to spell your response out in balloons, feel free. You don't have to, but you've set that precedent for other podcasts. So, but yeah, I quite like Lily Allen. I think she's dead sound. There we go. Rickman, also a great shout. I would have also accepted Shearer just because this good celebration.
Oh yeah, it'd been a good one to go for.
We all like Alan.
Yeah.
Question from Rocket Dan.
Oh.
Hello, Dan. How are you, friend? You've had a week or two now to get your hands on the ins and outs of possession tactics. How do you approach how you set up your tactics in FM26? Lovely question, Dan. I like it. I like it a lot.
How do you approach it? This is something that a few people have asked, and this is something that I've spoken to too many people about now, in a good way, but it's like it's a fun conversation to have. And this actually I had this chat with Sass when he was over as well. There's something interesting about the in and out of possession stuff. First of all, try not to overthink it. Really don't overthink in and out. Because I've seen a lot of people will be like, right, we're going 3-1-6 in possession, right? We're charging forward. We're getting that goal. We're out of possession. Right, flat back 10, everyone back. Get everyone back in defence. And it's just basically they've got their entire squad doing a bleep test for 90 minutes. And that's just not going to work for your team. They're going to be shattered. So go similar in shape-ish. Something I found helpful for me, at least. Obviously, everybody do what makes sense to you. If it works, super happy for you. The thing I've found that helps is go very similar with shape. So, I mean, I'm using something super weird and asymmetrical just because that's what I've got available for me in South America. But, you know, if you were rocking 4-4-2, maybe in the attacking version, those wingers move to, instead of left mid and right mid, they go left wing and right wing. If you're doing that 4-2-4, maybe on the defensive, DMs drop, or centre mids drop to DMs. Fine. You know, simple but near things I think are okay. I think don't go crazy with the in and out of possessions. But again, if you found a way to make it work and you have got, basically my hot air balloon tactic in the attack and Tom from Tarn's Tarngate in defence, great. If it works, it works. And I can't wait to see what it looks like in the match engine. Because I did try to get a bit fancy when doing Brighton and then sort of quickly realised, you don't need to actually do something that nutty because the roles are different on your out of possession. So you just basically say, well, we're still in the same shape, but instead of you being a box-to-box, on your way back, do you want to track the guy? Do you want to like trigger that press and go and chase the guy who's got the ball? And then you can give it to the deep line playmaker once we're back in possession and he can fling it out to a winger. Nice one. I think that can help.
Absolutely. Wholeheartedly agree with a lot of that sentiment. Keep it simple. I think that's the beauty of it early doors. Again, if you are one of those people that you just want to break the match engine, if you are, then you will figure it out. Somebody will always figure it out. And good luck to you, more power to you. Let us know how you get on.
Yeah, I want to see you break the match engine, please.
Yes, please. Yeah, I want to see you. Yeah, because there's a lot of great tacticians out there, doing wonderful things. Like RDF has been, he's got his Como save where he's been doing great bits and pieces. GYR's already at it, and we all know how good GYR is at the tactics on the Football Managers.
Oh yes,
like people like Bust the Net. Dal just said himself, he doesn't manage a game of football. He plays the match engine, and that's how you win. For me, when I'm doing it, a lot of it is to think about what you're inheriting. You've almost got to make it. You can't just Ruben Amorim it. You can't have your 3-4-3, and we're going to play a 3-4-3. I haven't got the players to a 3-4-3, but we're going to play a 3-4-3. It's not going to work. We're going to lose loads of games, but we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it. You can't do that. Like, I've looked at my final team. We've worked out early doors. The strength with my final side was the central midfielders. Like, we had a really, really decent load of options to play in narrow formation. So that's how we set up. And then in terms of the outer possession, how can we keep a fairly similar shape, stay defensively strong, but not suddenly have to, like you say, just like flat back 10. Oh God, he's actually supposed to be on the halfway line when we win possession back.
Yeah.
Like, so keep it easy, keep it simple, structure it to what you have available to you. Because if you're trying to do something nuts or just trying to play a system that doesn't work with the players that you have, you're going to have a bad time. So,
I cannot second that last bit even more. Build, especially in lower league, build the tactic that suits the team, not not a tactic that you want the team to play. Make it make sense. Don't go nuts. If you've got 3 DMs and all 3 of them are really good at being a halfback, guess what you need in your tactic? A halfback. Don't go, but I want a back 4 people in the attacking line and 2 strikers. Great. Now you're wasting 3 players that can all do one role. Yeah. Play to what makes your team make sense. Then evolve it into what you want. Yeah. Makes sense to me.
It's a good way of doing it. Or just do a 4-2-3 on Gengham press and win, I suppose. That's the other option. I mean, you got choices.
It's still OP.
You've got options. Right. Let's go back to our friend Root, because we did park his question. I think now it fits in quite nicely. Root's question. Hello, Root. Hope you're well. What future features would you like to see come in new iterations of Football Manager? New things.
Yeah. Yeah, new stuff. Outside of stuff we had before, the things that have gone that we miss. It's very hard. It's very hard to think. What are some things that happen in real life football or in the world of football that at least we're aware of that you don't see in FM that would make sense to be there? What I'm again spitballing slightly here and riffing because that is the nature of what we've put ourselves up for.
Welcome.
A way to evolve press conferences. Instead of it always being the press conference, have there be, for instance, something like, I'm not saying obviously because of naming rights you might need to come up with a different way of it, but have that something that is like the Sky Sports interview where you have a one-on-one interview. Do you remember, like, maybe this was a Soccer AM, I think it might have been a Soccer AM thing, but there was, like, Tubes would often go and interview a manager. And he'd sit down with Jose Mourinho for 15 minutes and just chat about how the season's gone, how he feels about things. And it's less about, the upcoming game. It's about a review of things. How you're going to, obviously you managed to bring this player in at the moment and he's done a really good job. How are you evaluating his season so far? And it's, the answers that you give would be, or the options that you'd have would maybe be backed up with a stat or something like that. It's like, really, really proud of Luka Toplivic joining us. He's had 26 goal involvements so far this season because he's great. Or the podcast episode. Like, maybe it's once a season, or it's like a rare thing every now and again, like once every 2 or 3 seasons, your manager gets invited on a podcast as an episode. Just new way. I'm trying to think of it, instead of it just being press interview, same thing, clicking the same answers over again. Just a new way to just sort of be like, because realistically, there probably would be basically the same questions or a lot of similar things, but it's, instead of it being vague, general terms about the game, it is a broader spectrum that are about season analysis, or even if it's like, again, I'm thinking back to like some of those Tubes interviews where it might be like, he sits down with a manager who's, sits down with someone like Sean Dyche, and it'd be like, obviously, whilst you were at Burnley, you favoured this style of play and you did this. But since you've been here, we've noticed you've done this now. What have you taken from before? They ask a question that actually is personal about how you have played the game. I think that's maybe a little bit too advanced, but it would be something that would be very interesting to see.
I love that. I really like that as an idea. And all I will say is this. You say it's advanced. Metal Gear Solid read your memory card back in the day.
Boom.
Like, there
Sports
you go.
Interactive. Get in touch with Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Get him over. Whatever he did with the memory card thing, put in the game.
And then incorporate that into your manager conversations. Just do that. Let's just do that.
And then when you lose the next game, you just slowly hear in your headphones, Snake.
Yeah. To beat Bayern Munich at the Champions League, you have to plug your mouse into a different USB slot on your computer.
So dumb. That's the feature. That's the feature.
That was in the game. I would love to see, and again, if we talk about immersion, I would love to see some way of spending your wages.
Yes.
Manager's wages. I'm looking at it now. I'm on nearly 10 grand a week at Feyenoord. I know a guy that can turn that into 4 grand like that. Me. I'm that guy. I want to be able to spend frivolously in game.
Yeah, it's the little things like, because obviously you always have to approach your board about getting your coaching courses. Wouldn't it just be a really easy thing to just be like, I'm going to approach the board. I'd like to do my coaching courses. We're not going to fund that. All right. How much money have I made? I'll buy it.
Actually, board, I think you'll find you are going to fund that. Yeah, it's just you've already done it, you fools. Yeah. Being able to do that because you're just accumulating wealth. I think there's a Steam achievement, isn't there, for like X amount of lifetime earnings?
Yeah, if you get 10 million
pounds
in
so
one save,
there's got to be something that you can do with that. And hey, maybe it's the kind of thing you can buy a new outfit for your manager, for your little avatar on the touchline. So we're getting back into microtransaction territory now, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it's just something.
But that's in a way that I think makes more sense. That in that save, let's say you earn £20,000. It's like, cool, you've earned £20,000. You've unlocked these outfits for your manager, and it's nothing mental. It might just be like, oh, you've got a new tracksuit option, or
here's a fancy car which is parked between 2 ambulances and a burger fan in a completely chained off section of the arena. Like, how was he parked? I don't know. Just something like just the opportunity to invest that money into something in game to help you with the immersion. Like that for me would be great. And then yes, of course, it will in this very poorly thought out riffy format. It's like, well, what does that look like? Does that then become, is that Football Manager, or are we venturing into the realms of something else? I don't know. I haven't thought it through that well, but just the opportunity to be able to do something beneficial towards, like you say, coaching badges, paying for a staff member's coaching badge. Something.
If you're unemployed in game, that would be a great way to spend the year you can't get a job.
On your gap year.
No, I'm going to gap year. I'm going to go and get my Continental Pro in Thailand.
Yeah. Phenomenal. Yeah, that for me would be a big one, because it's just dead money. It's just sat there doing nothing. Give me the opportunity to invest it poorly, please. That's all I want. Here's a fun question from Casino Square. Casino Square has recently discovered release clauses. And they'd like to know how we feel about them in terms of Football Manager. Do we use them? Do we enjoy them? Do we avoid them? Are you well, I think, you know what, let's go clauses in general in a contract. Are you a fan, Dee?
There are certain clauses that I do like. I'm not. I do like a release clause. Obviously, I know they're like in Spain, they're mandatory. Everybody has a release clause. Got to deal with it. But I do like them if you're, if you like. So again, just going off what I've got at the moment, currently in second tier of Chile, but there's a couple of players that I've managed that have joined us because we put release clauses in their contracts. So if I look at said contracts, which is really easy because you click on that button. So Alejandro Fernandez, guy I mentioned earlier, he wasn't that fussed about joining me. He was like, oh yeah, maybe, all right, and he looks quite good. So put in a minimum fee release clause. Like, if a team in a higher division bids 250,000, you can go. 250,000 is a lot of money to us, and he cost me nothing. So super easy. There is also another clause I like using with a freebie, and I may regret it with this one, is sell on fee percentages. If you're struggling to get someone in through the door, you can't afford their wages, get them down to the threshold and just give them 50% of what you sell them for. But if I sell Alejandro, I'm now only getting 125. But nonetheless, that's free cash. That's mine to do with what I please.
Absolutely.
But I like that. There's a few other. I do like using clauses to help make a contract get sort of fudged and cheated a little bit, so you get the guy in that you want, and you're not, wasting time. But yeah, release clause is great. Depending on the level you're at. I think if you're trying to sign someone for, like, I don't know, say like you're a newly promoted side into the Prem, and then you try and offer a contract to whoever, and they go, right, I need a minimum fee release clause of 10 million, or I'm not joining you. And it's like, you're going to go in like half a season, and I need you here all year, else we will get relegated. Not joining else. That's the accent of people from Colombia.
Great.
In case you're wondering.
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't mind a release clause. It's helpful. Good way to make a bit of cash quick.
Yeah, that's fair. I love them. I'm all about them. I'm all about them. I think it's just the way that modern football works, isn't it? Like it's one of those things. I would rather, in a lot of circumstances, I'd rather have a player for 2 years, make a big old profit on them in 2 years' time, and ship them on, and then reinvest that money, back. Essentially, the Brighton transfer formula in real life,
Yes.
isn't it? Buy a player for a pittance, play him for 2 years, sell him to Liverpool, and then repeat over and over and over again. And this summer it shall be Chelsea, and it just keep going. Brilliant, absolutely love that as a system. Again, the biggest one for me, and it's, some people say it's frowned upon. Some people say, well, it's a mechanic that's in the game. Should you take advantage of it? I have done it once or twice because I'm a bad man. Players seem to love the idea when they're on the cusp of joining you and they're not quite sure. They love the concept of a £0 relegation release clause when you are fighting for the league title and it's never going to happen. They're like, oh, great, I'll just leave on a free. Are we going to get relegated? Oh, well, you never know.
Who's to say? I know we're top by 26 points at the moment, but it could go wrong.
Yeah. This idiot. Yeah. Oh, sorry. No. It could happen. It really, really could happen. I think they're great. One of my favourites, and it's something that I never really utilised until a couple of FMs ago, trying to do the original, again, back at it, the original Tony Jameson Scandi Triple Crown Challenge. I was having a really, really tough time in Sweden. I had the capacity to attract a few decent-ish players, but I just couldn't afford them in terms of wages. Selling club wage contributions. That got me through my time in Sweden, because I can't afford you, but if the club that's selling you will pay £6,000 a month of your £8,000 a month contract, I can do that for you. And the amount of clubs that were so desperate to get rid of players, they're like, yeah, not a problem at all. We'll sell him for. I was like picking up players from lower tier championship clubs. I picked up a couple of lads from Blackburn. I think it was for a cumulative. It was about £60,000 I spent on them, but of those two players, they were giving me a total of about £15,000 a week in terms of their wages. I was like, this is the best thing that's ever happened. They're idiots. Oh my God. And it just kept working. So if you're trying to do that, selling club wage contributions, I love them. I'm the biggest hypocrite in the world, because when I'm managing a successful club and somebody comes in, please, sir, may we please have cap in hand? May we please... I take this one off, but there's headphones over the top, and what's underneath this is terrifying. Can we please have... I'd love to sign this player, sir, but I will require £5,000 a week in order to do so. But away from me! Don't touch me! You'll make me dirty. Oh no!
Begone, heathen!
The first thing I noticed about this transfer bid is the sheer audacity, and won't have it. Absolutely won't have it. But then I will do it at the next club. I am that captain.
Oh yeah,
please, sir. A slight wage contribution would make me very happy. So I think they're brilliant. I think it's one of those things. I don't think you can successfully play the game without them. I think, all these clauses, minimum release clauses, I will try to avoid them where, if I'm built like Feyenoord, prime example, I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. Could be 2 seasons, could be 4.
Yeah.
Could be longer, depending on how long it takes me to get good. So I've had a couple of lads that wanted to come in, and they both wanted minimum release clauses, and I had to say no in the end, just because they were going to be my bankers. They were going to be the big players for a fair few years.
Yeah.
Didn't want to get stung further down the line, so they weren't the ones. But generally speaking, bloody love them. We've got one more question, Dan.
We've made it.
Question. How's this happened? It's because we've read them all and answered them all.
Yeah.
One more question. It's from Dadson. Hi, Dadson. Hope you're very well. Good old Dadson. Who doesn't love a bit of Dadson? Dadson would like to know our most missed features and our most missed screen. I mean, I can answer that one quite quickly.
Go for it.
Because it's actually the same thing. End of season summaries. That's what I think I miss the most. I like seeing all that. Like I said earlier, the data is there if you really want it, but seeing it all packaged up together, especially after we did Brighton, because we're only there for 1 season. I'm not going back to that universe because I, unlike you, just let people go.
You got no
Kiko,
reason to
I
go
want to
back.
leave. Bye-bye. Enjoy the NWSL. You'll have a great time there. But it would have been really nice just to wrap up that experience, just to have it all packaged and delivered to me in terms of, I like seeing the player ratings at the end of the board ratings, your signings, your best 11. I like seeing all of that, the recap, best match, it's nice to see all of that. Like I say, again, that data is there if I really want it, but I liked how it was packaged together. I liked how it was presented to you. And that, for me, almost felt like now I'm in pre-season. That is done.
Yeah, it felt like the
now,
end of a chapter.
Focus has now shifted to whatever comes next, which in the case of Brighton was just closing the save and never loading it again. But, had we been continuing, different set of circumstances, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So, that's what I miss. Like I say, it's not a game changer. It's not ruined Football Manager for me, but I liked it. It was good.
Yeah. I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit with this. My most missed feature is custom skins. Because, and I say that, and this is something I'm repeating myself with things I've said before, but we were spoiled for 2 years having the SAS skin, which was 99.9% perfect. I think if we're talking like the babyest of tweaks, which would all be super specific and not even worth mentioning. So custom skins is something I do miss, and I understand why, because we've got a new UI. So learn how to use the new UI. There was a lot of use there, and then FM27. Now you know your way around the screens. Plays with them. Have a bit of fun. So I miss the skins, but that's not me saying I don't like what we've got. That's just me saying I miss the SAS skin more than anything. I miss his SAS. If you're listening, I miss the perfection that you brought the game. Okay, and most missed screen is every screen on the SAS skin. the ability to have everything I wanted customizable and fixed and made look exactly how I wanted it. Now I have all the details I need. Oh God, it's all gone.
Just all of it, yeah.
It's all gone. It's just gone. No, if I'm being very, very specific, I think one page I do miss, and it is something that is going to have. It's like I mentioned it earlier. It's to do with the club stuff. Before you would have the job center, and then the available jobs. It appears, and correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, happy to be wrong if I am, there is just managerial vacancies as a page. There isn't just a nice, neat list of, these are the jobs that are available. Go and have a look at them. Or even in that place, there would be the place where you'd go, chuck an advert up for an assistant manager because you need one. It's not there. There are obviously other ways of doing that within the game, but there isn't that staff page where it's just like, oh, here's the job center. This is where all the jobs are if you need them, and these are all the jobs that have been advertised. Here's all the jobs that are available, and it's nice to kind of have those things there because especially if you're doing a journeyman, it just makes it really easy to sort of filter through them and work out where you want to go. I miss the Saskin.
Me too. Me too.
It.
So good. Genuinely, I've said this many times before. Changed the way that I played Football Manager.
Yeah, 100%.
Genuinely.
100% agree.
A genuine real life game changer for me.
Help me grow as a man.
Maybe the man you see before you today. Honestly, without it, I'm nothing. No, genuinely phenomenal. Yeah, I miss it terribly, but one day, we can dream. We can dream. That was a big old raft of questions that we answered, Dee, and I think we gave a really good account of ourselves there.
I hope we did. I hope that our answers helped the listeners.
Brilliantly. Yeah, I think we did.
Hope we answered your questions well.
Yeah, smashed it. Super duper.
Hope you like us a bit more now.
I hope so. That's what it's all about for me. That's what it's all about for me.
Yeah.
Desperate for validation.
Yeah.
That's me. If you've listened to this and you think, oh God, I wish I'd asked a question, do. Put it in the comments underneath this video. Tweet us. Hop on the Discord. DM us. Write us a letter.
Join us in a stream.
Come hang out on stream with us. Do something. The opportunities to communicate are there, and we always enjoy having a chat. That's what it's all about. Come talk to us. We're all right, really. We're okay. We're good. That feels very much like a podcast to me, though, friend. I don't know about you.
I felt very podcasty.
It felt quite poddy, didn't it? I've enjoyed it. Before we start to wrap things up and say our goodbyes, Dee, people have heard you talking about the urban bus drivers quite a lot today.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about them, but I really want to watch you streaming. Where can I find you doing that, Dee?
Well, you want to come hang out with me and my urban bus drivers?
I do. Me and
my bus boys.
Yes.
You can do so over on twitch.tv/dboyplays. And if you join us soon enough, you might see us win a playoff final if we get there.
My goodness. Imagine that. You don't have to imagine it. It could be your reality.
It could very well be.
The only thing stopping you from doing that is you. So please go and do that.
And the game deciding I'm not allowed it.
Yeah, also that is definitely one of the issues you may come up against in your quest for. But apart from those two things, you might be okay.
How about you, Rich? If people want to come and hang out with you and your forever adopted player, Luka Toplovic, dominate all of the Eredivisie, where are people going to come find you?
Yeah, please come and spend a little bit of time with me and my adopted Slovenian son. I am actually old enough to be his dad, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh, the passage of time frightens me. Come spend a little bit of time with me and Luca and the rest of the lads. Twitch.tv/Rich Owens FM. Go on. Come do it. And if you do, you can hear the utterly sensational theme tune for the save that Dee has made for me. You can hear both versions.
Wow.
I'm half tempted. Maybe one of them might be. I might even use it as the outro music for this week's episode.
I'm incredibly proud of the long one.
It's going to be the long one. Of course it is. There we go. So hang around to the end to hear it. Break you off a little preview of the remix. There you go. Enjoy. Dee, it's been an absolute pleasure spending the evening with you, brother, as always.
Same with you, mate. It's been wicked.
And thank you, the audience, for listening, for watching, however you are consuming this podcast. We appreciate you enormously. You're good. Proud of you, champ. That wraps it up, I believe, for another episode of Football Manager Therapy. We will see you on the next one. Until then, take care. I love you lots. Bye-bye.
This could have
anytime, or anywhere, 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 or anywhere. Liverpool or Rome, 'cause Rotterdam is anywhere, anywhere, oh, anywhere alone. Yeah. It's a Rich Owen story, people.